Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Card Craft. Thanks for joining me again today. Continuing on with our 12 by 12 sheets. Oh my word, I found this little gem on Bohemian Crafting the other day. She put this up and it's just beautiful, and it works so well in getting rid of our 12 by 12s and all the rest. I will put the link to her channel in the description box, so please go over and check her out if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you already will have seen her or follow her or whatever. This again is this wonderful little album journal from one 12 by 12 sheet. So it folds, it flaps. I've popped a notebook in here. It's got a pull out journaling posse in here. Lots of different ways you can actually align all this and do what it is that you want. This is the way I've done it. I've got pocket spot here, got journaling, more journaling, another pocket here, another one of these lift up tabs. I've got a belly band in here, another, if I can get it out, all thumbs, another little journaling posse in here. That just slides back down in like that. If we can get it in, there you go. And I've got another tag spot in here. Again, lovely to send for Happy Mail. Even really small and cute, depending on how much you fill it, but it's fairly thin, so it will tuck into a front cover of your journal as an extra little pocketbook type thing. It is just beautiful. It is so quick to make. We're going to make this one today. We probably won't decorate the other one because you can see how they're decorated. We'll see how we go for time. One 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, so the 12 by 12 sheet, I'll just step back a bit. This one that I chose for this one is an old basic grey sheet that I had, and I mean old. It was still single-sided, okay? They haven't been single-sided for a long, long time. So I've just put some coffee splatters and things like that in it. For today's, I'm going to do double-sided so that you can see it, and it makes it a little bit quicker because I don't have to decorate or I don't have to colour my single side. Now, they can be anything. This is the one I want to use today, which is a Craft one from quite a while ago. Scrap Studio, I don't know how long ago. But it's nice and it's grungy, and this side still works well so that if it's my journaling spots, you can still journal on them. The other one I'd thought about was this one, which was close to my heart. I've had this for a little while too. So it had this nice denim look, and the other side was this stone sort of look. There we go. It was out of their textures range. So this one came out a couple of years ago, 2021. And they had a hyper textures, and I love all these textures. But then I found this, and this is just, we'll do this one. So first things first, I want to take off the barcode strip. I didn't take it off beforehand because I wanted to show it to you, because I'm going to use my barcode strip as a belly band in it. So what we're going to, well, and I was so organised. No, I'm going to say, and I've lost my knife. So first things first, we'll take off our barcode strip and just sit it aside to use later on, because this is really nice. I love it when the collections, any of the papers come out with patterned barcode strip. Right, so first things first, we're going to fold it in half, so just exactly in half. You can use your scoreboard for it. You can just fold it if you like. If the paper that you're using is a really thick paper, you're far better off to use your scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, remember, as I said last week, I think it was, week before, one of the others, give it a little mist with your water it'll allow it to crease properly without ripping. So we've got our first fold. We're now going to fold this in half again, okay? So we're just going to fold it up. Don't worry if it's slightly off whack. You can always trim it back down. There's Bertha. Sorry, I should have looked at the time before I started. You can always trim them back down so that they're nice and even later on. Okay, so I'll go back again. I'm starting with my right side, my wrong side, or my journal side, up. I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half. What we're going to do now is fold these two in half. Okay, but if you fold that like that, see how this one comes right over? You're far better off doing these individually. So putting your folded line, your crease line at the top, take your first layer, bring it over to that crease line, just fold it straight up to there. Give that a good solid push because we're starting to get some thickness in here now. And then what I like to do is take this one over to this crease line, okay? That way I don't have too much where they're out of whack. All right. So what we've got now, if I undo this, can you see the creases? So we've got one here, one through here, one through here, and one through there. Can you see those? I'm just going to run this through so that you can see them properly, and I'll just very lightly run straight down the centre of these. Okay, so that then you can see that centre one. Fold that one back in on itself. Don't worry about which way you folded it now because you can rearrange that as you go. There's that middle one. Give him a crease down there. There's that line. And our last one is this. Okay, so now you can actually see where your fold lines are. Make sense? What I want to do is we're going to cut this now. We're going to cut this line and we're going to cut this line, but only to here. So we're going to cut a T. All right, that's it. That is the only cutting you will do. Now you can do them with your scissors, you can do them with a knife. It's up to you. Now, again, you'll probably remember me saying that whenever I do these, I never get it dead smack in the middle of the line. So you will probably be re-trimming it back up anyway if you're anything like me. So there's one cut. Okay. Turn it round. And now we're going to cut from this point, this intersection, down to this intersection. I'm going to put my knife right there so I know where I'm starting. I'm going to go down here, try and keep in the centre of that crease. Bet you I'm not. I never am. And down to this intersection. Okay. So now I should have this. I thought I missed a bit. And now I should have that. That's it. Put your knife away. Put your scissors away. Put everything away. So now what we've got is this. Now, and it's up to you which way you want, whether you want more journaling, whether you want more just pockets and things like that. So I'll show you folded both ways. So there's my T. I folded this one back on itself so that my T is now at the top. These ones are going to fold down like that. And this one I'm going to bring forward. Fold it over. There's your book. Okay? There's your book. Simple as that. So if you want to go the other way, So this one, I've now got my pocket here. I've got my pocket here. I've got my flip up here. So if I, with this one, if I then glue along here and along here, I've got my side pocket. I can lift this up, and I've got lots and lots of my picture space with this one. Okay, so again, if I glue that, lift that, I've got my picture space, and I've got that one on the outside. If I turn it, we'll go back, we'll open it up. Are you still with me? Turn it all the way over, right? This time, fold it down that way, so that your T is still looking at you. Always have your T at you. Fold this one that way. This way we'll get more journaling space. Fold this one this way, and fold it out on itself. So this time what we've got is that on the outside. There's that one. But I'm going to attach that to that. If you attach that to that, you get this flip up. Okay? If you just glue there, you've got a side pocket there and a whole other page here. Does this make sense? So depending on where you glue, all right, so with this one, if I glue just down there, I've got a side pocket here and I've got an extra page there. If I glue this page down to here and to here, what I end up with is that. So it's up to you once you've actually cut that T to where you want it to go. Now, the way this paper's folded, and if I'd thought about it and reworked it all out, but you know that's not me. It's not me. It never has been me. I've ended up with just that. And out of all that beautiful paper, that's the boring spot. So I'm actually going to do this the other way around. So I'm going back to that side. No, I'm not. I'm going back the other way, because that way it'll give me the same thing, won't it? No, that's it. That way it'll give me all that. And then I get all that beautiful grunge. I get this as my front cover so that I can decorate my back cover. And then in here, I've got this one. If I sit that on there, I've got that one. So if I want some more journaling, what I can do, and we'll do that with this one to make it different. I'm going to just glue along here, straight down there, and down here, there and there. And then I've got this one as a separate fold. I've then got these. I've then got this, and this time we might make this one our flip up, and then I've got all that. How's that? So it depends on what you want journaling wise to which way you're going to do it. So I'm just going to roughly give that a little bit more grunge now. As I said before, you can see little bits out here. I'm not overly concerned with it. These sorts of ones, you can trim it by all means. Trim it, make it nice and neat, make it nice and square and all the rest. I like that in-out look, handmade look, I suppose would be the best way for it. But that's me. So it doesn't have to be you, by all means. So I'm just going to go around and grunge all those up. And then we'll glue a little bit of this. That one's done. That way I can see my edges. There. This paper is quite grungy anyway. So, now I did re-ink my brushed corduroy the other day, but just because it was so, where am I? There's so many corners. Because it was so nearly empty. I don't know whether I've given myself enough. Might need a little bit more. Brushed corduroy is one of the only ones that I tend to re-ink. Most of my others in my distress inks, I don't re-ink. They're usually dead. The foam pads are usually completely dead by the time I've got rid of them, as in used all my ink. But because my brushed corduroy I use the most, I will use the ink up way before I've killed the actual ink pad, the foam pad that's on it. So I do tend to have a re-inker for that one. Right, told you there's lots of curves, lots of curves, lots of edges. But that's your album. So technically, you can run off now and go and make lots of these little albums. Work your way through your 12 by 12s again. All right. That one. That one. That one. It's just so easy. But a couple of other things. So first off, I'm going to glue this bit down. So just my little normal glue, and I'm just going to run a bead. If I can, there we go. I'm just going to run a bead. You'll notice I've still got the dodgy glue, but yes, I did go and buy a new one. So I haven't had much chance this week to be at my desk. We're back at work, and I'm not getting home till nearly 5 o'clock each night or after, and by the time I get home, do a lot of washing, do tea, clean up, blah, blah, blah. I've had no time at my desk, so you will need to excuse me if I'm rushing or anything else, or if you haven't seen me for a week. It's because the holidays are finished. So, yes. All right. So, there's that one. We now have an extra page in our book. This one, as I said before, I want to make into a side loading pocket. So, of course, this one only needs glue here and here when we find what we've just done with the glue. And then I'll show you how to bind it. Because you can either have it as a journal, like that, or an album, a book, or you can turn it into kind of like an accordion album. So, hang on. I'll fold this one over. That one's down there, like so. Folded that bit and that bit, and now we've got, see that? So now we've got a front flap. This one is quite large on there, and he's sticking out, so I'm going to trim that. As I said before, don't worry if they're over a little bit. That one is just a tad bit too much. I'm just going to trim that back a little bit, because I can never ever cut dead smack in the middle of my crease lines. Right, so we'll just re-ink that section. I'm not worried about the rest of them at this stage. I might be later on when I look at it. So, here's our little album. One page, tuck, another page, page, fold up with a pocket and down. If you then turn that over, you've also got that, if you want, and it folds all out. But if you want to make it like an album, like this, I've bound this one. Little bit of washi tape. So, I pulled out some browns, because I was really thinking that I'd need browns for this, but in the end, there's not much brown showing, but that's all right. I pulled this one out anyway. So I just have my browns like this. Jen over at Jen's Arty Inclinations gave me this idea, and I keep them coloured together. It's not the best way for me to keep my washi tapes. I'd prefer to have them in little drawers, but I've got no space in front of me, and I need them in front of me. So they're in a big container in front of me, but they're colour-coded, so I can just reef in and grab, and they're all sitting there like so. Right, so for this one, I want to put this on. Now, I always glue where I'm going to put, especially with something like this. If it's just a little strip of washi tape as a decorative piece, I don't worry about it. But when it's something like this, which needs to hold things down, then yes, I will definitely glue my washi tape. So we'll just run, you know, I don't know what it'd be, 2/8 of an inch, 1/2 centimetre, something like that. And I'm just going to lay this down. You know me, I work on my grid every time. I'm hoping that's in shot, yes. I'm just going to sit it. I don't necessarily want it exactly halfway, and I'm going to actually run it down that line for this, because I've got to allow the thickness of the album on the middle, in the middle. All right. So there's that one. Trim that off. Trim that off. There we go. It's because before I came running out to do this morning, I actually had another project on the go from late last night. Should have, yes, I know, been filming this one instead, but, you know, when it hits you, and you've just got to go with it. And I had something I wanted to do. Right. So this time I'm going to actually glue my washi, because I wanted to make sure that it's in on both of those. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to run my beads down my washi, fill it in a little bit, and I always use my white liquid glue, not my glue stick, to do these. I just find they've got a little bit, it's got a little bit more oomph, and I've got probably more control because of the thinness of the little nozzle. There you go. That's where we want. Right. So I'll fold this over. And now our little album is an actual book. How easy was that? Look at that. We've been going 22 minutes and it's done. It is just ready for decorating. So yes, we can decorate a little bit of this. So let's do our pockets in here. Now I've already cut out. Again, I was thinking I was going to have more of the brown showing, but that's all right. Found another scrap, a grungy piece of scrapbook paper that I had sitting around, and I cut out 4 tabs because these are single-sided tabs. Now these are from this, and I don't know what I've actually done with the actual tab that I used. There it is. This is a Uniquely Creative set, and I love it because it gives me a little one for little albums, a bigger one with a stitched. Now these are single ones, so you'd cut 2 if you want to join them together, and that one, and that one, and then it gives you 2 different length, different style fold over tabs. Okay, it is one of my most used ones. So it is Album Tabs Die, UCD2072. You will find the link to Uniquely Creative and their website in my description box. I love them. They just, yeah, they have so many wonderful dies. My file folder is from them. I've got some tags that I love from them, but other numerous bits and pieces. But this die set, this tab set, would have to be my most used set. So that's what these ones are. We're going to find something to go in here. Now we want this. This, of course, has ended up as our 6 inches or close to. So I want a pocket that's going to go in there that's about 5 1/4 to give it a little bit of room to go in and out. So 5 1/4 by about 3 at this stage, because then we can trim it down. So again, we'll just go to the scraps. Let's have a look up here. I've got stuff everywhere sitting at the moment. Let's have a look. What's that? It's to cream without it being actually. Let's just put book page in there. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Book page would be very nice. So I'm going to reach over you now. And over. There we go. Look at this. Of course I've got to use book page. What else am I going to use? This is me. So I'd like So these are nice. These are these big, thick school kids books. And that would work with just the writing. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that. But let's just go to just a worded one. Yep, and I'll trim that off and trim that off, and we'll put that one in there. How's that? Because we can still decorate over the top of that. Actually, I'm going to take it down to, or do I want a little bit of that in there to decorate? Let's just go there. Oh, no, sorry. What do we say? About 3 at this stage. And we'll do another one at 3 for the other one. And we'll leave the decorating bit at the top. Right. So this needs to go down to about 5 1/4. And at the moment it's about 6 1/2. If I go there and I go there, the wording is roundabout. So if I take that, here's my 5 1/4 line. I take it that far and that far, then I can get it even. And 5 1/4. 5 1/4. So I've got that. Either side is very nice and can be actually decorated up. So if we do the same with this one, make sure my wording is just before the 5 1/4. I'm assuming I'm in shot. Yes, I am. So it is a very thick, you know, the old kids' books, so that very thick, I don't know if they're a cotton paper or whatever else, but yes. All right, so there's my 2, sit you there. There's my 2 little ones, and we're going to trim these down a little bit. So I will probably take this off here. So let's have a look. Because I want it to be dead on the top of that. I'm thinking I could probably go across that line. It's always better to cut it larger to start with, and then you can always trim further down each time. So I've gone back to 2 3/4. It's not straight by any way, stretch or form. That fits and goes in beautifully. So this one will need to be the same, but I have trimmed a little bit off this one, so it might need to be a little bit. Oh, see, whereas this one, because it's the fold, can actually be a little bit larger. But again, I want to take it off the worded side, so we only need a little bit off this one. Like that. All right, and we might go with a really dark ink. So if I go back into Gathered Twigs, just to give it that even older, more burnt look, I suppose. I find Gathered Twigs gives it that deep burnt look. So, and it just, for me, it just finishes it off a little bit. A little bit on this side. Like that, and we need the other one, don't we? Which we've still got tucked over in this. And we can pop our tags on. And our tags, because I've used grunged paper and they're not plain, it's pointless stamping directly onto them. So if I want words or numbers or something like that actually on my tags, I will need to stamp it onto something else and then stick them on. So I know that one goes at the front, this one goes at the back. My move that. This is starting to die, and they do die over time, but watch when they do start to go, because you'll see all this? That's off your blending brush, and what it is little bits of foam, but they will have ink on them. And if you're putting something light then back down, you'll end up with those little ink spots. So just watch that. I've got no fingernails because the only few fingernails that I had left disappeared this week when I went back to work. And now I can't pick anything up. All right, so I'm just going to give those, I'm going to sit them like that so that I can pick them up. Oh, come on. All right. 2. Oh, man. Tell ya. 3. And 4. And because I'm going to, if you're going to stamp on them to start with, stamp before you've stuck them on. Okay? If you're like these ones, I'm going to pop some paper and I'll just use, little bits of old bits of paper and I'll stamp something and tear around it and pop them on. So I can stick these on to my journal tabs to start with. So this one's going to go in here and I'm going to pop this one about down there. So to do that, what we're going to do, just pop a little bit of glue just to join our 2 individual ones. They don't just have to be the folded over tabs. Okay, so a little bit of glue there. Pull this one out. Again, sit it down so that it's on your line. You're nice and straight. Work out where you want it. I want mine in about that far. Okay, you can take them in as far as you like. I want mine about that far, and I'm hoping that that's straight. You can check it if you want. Turn it over. Get your other one. Glue this one when you find the glue. I like the other side of this paper too, but the burgundy didn't work with anything that I was looking at on the original sheets. Right, so now what we're going to do is line this one up with this one. You've got wet glue on there, so you'll be able to manipulate it if you need to. Okay, and then you've got your tab. It is such a great tab. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That one went in that one, didn't it? Look at that. So this one, my tab is at the top, as on the writing side, and I want to put this one, somewhere around up here. If you like, sit it on your book to work out where you want to actually go. So this time, remember, we're just going to glue this bottom section. And I know with this one, I want it somewhere around, see the hole. Somewhere in there, anywhere in there is fine with me. And it's about that far in. Line it up with my words. See, book pages are great because you've got something to line it up with each time. Inking this one, and you've got your 2 tabs in there. You can then pop your ephemera on there. You can pop little words, whatever it is that is your thing. Down. And over it if you need to. And there's that one. So now we've got our 2 little tabs in there. Okay, so it's still all nice and grungy. This one is that one. Got our extra page here, 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 and here. Now, the other one I did in, and that's why I need to re-ink it all the time, because I never remember to put the lid back on. So, sitting beside me. The other thing I did in this is I did my little notebook. Now that is literally just some strips that I had left over of coffee dyed paper. I stapled them, and then I've run some washi tape down there, again with the glue, because you want it to hold these all down. So it's given you just a little bit different element in there as well, but it has thickened it up quite a lot. Okay, so really they are very, very easy. Might as well just stamp those while I'm there. I've got this. Don't know if I like that, actually. Oh, let's have a look at the scrap box. Everything is very, very white. Very, very light. Let's have a look and see if we've got any whites. Oh, probably not. This is me. I will have some grid paper, though. Oh, actually, look. Something like that. Now that's part of a masterboard that I've done and copied, and I've got a little bit left there. So let's do my standard. Let's put in some numbers. Let's go, which craft do you do? Which are these clear ones? These are close to my heart. These clear ones are which craft do you do? So, and I know that one fits in there beautifully, so we might stamp that one there. Let's have a look. Over to the drawer. Colour wise, I'm thinking I want dark brown. So fallen leaves in the Versa, fine, if I can get it out. Okay, that's a nice dark brown. Stamp that on there, like so. And I'm going to just tear around it, make sure that that's dry. So all I'm doing is bringing it up to the light so that I can see that there's no shiny surface on it, which means I can start to touch it. This is a pigment ink, so it takes a little bit longer to dry than something like your Stays On, your permanent archival inks, things like that. So just watch when you're using your inks what they are and how quick you can touch them. So I just want to do something like that. I know I need to go fairly close to it because the area that I want is small. If I take it out of there, it'll be easier to play with. So that will fit in there. If I get rid of that corner, it'll fit in there a little bit easier again. And I'm just going to run that round it just to give it that burnt look again. And grab the glue stick this time. Yeah, there it is. Might actually use the tweezers for that because which is sitting underneath all that paper that I just put there, because then I can see where I'm going better than having my fingers sitting in there like that. All right, so you can still stamp on them and pop your little bits and pieces, and look at that. So let's do this one now. Now you can do this one both sides if you like, because it's the flip up one. So we want another one. Let's have a look. Let's stick with the which craft do you do. Now, and I know that one was a small size, but let's say you've only got the larger sizes. Put that one back where it belongs. Let's say I've got that size. It's not going to fit. I probably would if I went right down there, but I want to lift it up a little bit. So with this one, and I've still got space in there, but I don't want that number. So what I'm going to do is just set a bit of card, which I've obviously poked through. Turn that round. I'm just going to pop a little bit of card there. I don't want the number. So now I don't have the NO on there. And I will just get the actual numbers that I want. Okay. So just because it's, you know, I'll use this one quite often, as you can see, for how stained it is. But I might just do number 1. Or I might do that. It gives you options. Sit you back on there. Close you for a second. Double check that I've not got a shiny spot. Get in that. I like they don't have to be torn. You can do anything you like. But for me, I like the torn look. That jagged edge and grungy and well loved and all the rest. So let's have a look and see if that fits. Yep, I like that. Again, and I'm still just using what was on my blender brush before. So this is still the dark gathered twigs, just to give it that burnt look. So like it looks like a piece of ash that's fallen down, for me anyway. Give him some glue. Grab my tweezers back out, which are sitting right in front of me. Okay. So that one's going to go, that one's going to go in that one. But because it's a flip up one, we could technically put something on this side. So let's have a look at what we want to put on this side. Do we want another number or do we want something else? So in my container of wonders, it's my favourite CD container because I have all my numbers and things. Well, not all of them. I've got a pile of them still sitting over here waiting to go in, which is just standard for me. So I've got all my numbers, and on this side I've got numbers with other things with them. So they're like telephone numbers, things like that. But I quite like all these things for different bits and pieces. So, but something like, something like department would work. Oop, wrong one. I want stamps in words. Ugh. What have I got that's really small that would fit on this one? Again, I can just use a part one. See, now I quite like check. Check would work. Doesn't have to be claim check. So again, all right. So this is a really tiny one, but it's not going to, well, it would. It will fit on there. It will fit on there. I'd like it not to, but I quite like the fact that it will fit on there. Let's just put you on that. We might See, I was thinking they were even smaller. Claim check. So, here we go. Let's say we only want check. Same thing. You can do it with this just as well as you could do it with the word ones. Set that on. And let's just do check. Okay? It's so much easier. And that way you'll get even more use out of the stamps that you do have. Pick your areas. So again, double check that we're nice and matte colour. It's flat. It's got no shiny spots, because otherwise all you're going to do is smudge your stamped image. That is quite cute. Yes, it does fit in there. We will lose a little bit of the check, but that does fit in there. So if I get rid of that little corner, All right, give it that burnt look like all the rest. Stick it on. Put the glue away. Grab the tweezers. Grab the tweezers so it's up the right way for me. There we go. That actually looks good. I do say so myself. So this one's going to go back in that one. Now let's say we wanted a belly band on here, as I said before. This is really nice as a belly band thing, and I wanted to use my barcode strip. So easy. Up here and up here. Yes, you can put more behind it and all the rest, but I find that for me, if it's too wide, I won't see it. So, and again, it's just a me thing. If that's too wide, it's pointless for me being a belly band because I don't see what's going on behind what I've got tucked in behind it. So, and in which case I would just put a pocket. So let's put a double belly band in this. We've got room for that. So this one's going to be that. I'm going to sit that on and we're going to eyeball it. I know. Oh, wrong glue. See, I really want to go to the new glue. So we're somewhere in the middle. No, we're not. I want to ink this first. Good thing it's a little bit cooler today and my glue's not drying as quick. I'll give it enough because I want to get rid of that white edge where I've trimmed it and you can still see the white edge. So it's just, you could trim it, retrim it, or you can just ink it. So put it on, lift it up just a little bit so that this will still fold, okay? You don't want it right on that edge. You don't want it right on that edge. It'll make you fold too hard. This is going to go up here, and I'm going to stick this down and then trim it off. Yeah, you could have just cut your belly band to size and then stuck each end of it, glued each end of it and then stuck it down, but where's the fun in that? You know me, I like to make things hard, especially for myself. All right, pulling that because it's a little bit loose, but that's all right. Now we're going to trim this one off, like so. And then what I'd like to do is make a belly band on top of a belly band. Does that make sense? So I'm going to have another strip that's just a little one. I'm going to cut it off there. I'll ink this one up. Yep, it was this ink. Oh, nearly forgot. All right, so I've got rid of that white strip that I had sitting there. Like so. This one I will ink my actual belly band. Like so. Put my lid back on my glue. Lift it up. Now I can go that way, or this time I can go that way so that my music is now upside down and I can see that it's there. And what I'm going to do is line it up, push it in, so that what I get now, when I lift this up, it just looks like a single belly band. Let's have a look. What have I got sitting here? All right, so I've got one, and this one's in here. That one's a little bit too long. No, there you go, look at that. And then I've got 2. Okay, double belly band. They're fun, they're great. It's just a way of putting extra things in there, which still leaves it fairly flat. Hope you've liked that. I hope you stuck with me for it. Thank you very much if you have. If you haven't, I was going to say, and you just saw the first bit, but then if you haven't, you're not here for now anyway, so that's fine. If you have stuck with me, thank you so much. If you like this little album, don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Please whip over to Bohemian Crafting. Have a look at hers as well. She's got lots of little flips and folds as well. So have a look at her channel, please. And I'd like to thank her for giving me this wonderful idea on using my 12 by 12 papers, and so easy. And I just need one. Single-sided, double-sided, makes no difference. They're such a cute little album, so thank you all very much. If you haven't subscribed, I would love you to subscribe. Thank you to all the girls that have subscribed, guys too. And thank you all for all your wonderful comments. I'm having a ball with all our comments lately. Takes me a little bit to get back, but I do get back. So until next time, it's Kylie saying goodbye. Happy crafting. Bye.